We're going to try to find something in this storm. The road. How? We found the road. All right. What we're doing today, folks, is we are chasing a sandstorm. The Halloween update had a sandstorm in it, and I've been a little bit lax in chasing one down. But today we are storm chasers. That's what we're doing. So get ready for the long drive, chasing a sandstorm. Let's see. Biome mixed. How about we go desert? Here we go. On the road. Storm chasing in the long drive, baby. Desert biome. Do not disappoint me. Where is everybody? Whoa. Okay. Watch out for rocks. Cutting cross country. And there it is. Okay, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Just keep glitching for me. Thank you. That's fun. Lightning rod. When you're storm chasing, time to find it. You want to ride the lightning? You need some kind of stupid lightning rod sticking up. What do you want to bet? Huh? We're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Back on the road. Come and get us, Storm. Got that weird... Oops. Oops. Got that weird mirage effect. Oh boy. Really got to have kind of a light touch with this car. Seems a little light in the front end, you know? Right? Where are you, Sandstorm? How do I find one? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where's the storm, folks? Where is the storm? Where? That's one of the things about this game is they can update it and tease you with the idea that something's in the game, but man, it can take a long time to encounter it. I remember when they first updated with they first put a gas, whatever the big diesel cab over truck was, put that in the game. I searched and searched for hours for one of those things. Took me so long to finally find one. Where are we going, people? And where are the dust storms? You know? Ah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just shoot the gap there. Mm-hmm. Probably time to call it a night, yeah? Sheesh. I see it. I see the dust storm out there. Ha ha! You saw it, didn't you? You saw it. I saw it over there. Oh. Well, I feel like it's gone now, though. Still, proof. They are out there. The dust storms are out there. We're either going to find one or it's going to find us. I'm just going to cut across country here. Oh. Come on now. No. Be reasonable. Don't point yourself at things. Go where I point you, car. That is the nature of this relationship. You are a machine and I am your master. I have created you. I am your God. Are you getting ideas of your own about where to go, Who polished your paint? Me. Who fixed your tires? Me. Who... Oh, what's that? Ah. Oh, boy. It's a... Oh, good Lord. Sick of that kind of garbage. Aha. See it back there? Do you see it back there? Oh, and now it's cleared up. But there's another one. Let's do this. You know, it's a shame to go back the way we came, but it seems like that's where the storm's at. No help for it then. Let's go find this thing. Yeah, we're going to be heading cross country with no compass. And then we're going to end up in a dust storm and very probably get lost. But hey, I promised you a storm, and a storm you will have. Oh. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah. This is fine. Oh, yeah. We're coming for you, dust storm. Gonna find us a dust storm, people? In our car that seems to sort of want to steer itself. I mean, this is like Herbie the love bug here. Just decides to drive where it wants to every so often. Just a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Come on. Come on. I see that dust storm, though. I see it. What? What? We will... Nope. We will catch it. Nope. 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 Come on now. You know, I've said it before, but this game always brings up sort of existential thoughts for me, right? And chasing this dust storm, I'm reminded of this fantastic book. If I've brought it up on these programs before, I apologize. I don't think I have. But there's this book called Woman in the Dunes by Kobo Abe, a Japanese writer who was living in China, and he writes this story about a kind of loosely based on a real place in China, but it's a fictional story. And I feel like it's kind of this analogy for life in general. There's this guy, he's this young man who wants to make a name for himself. He wants to be the one to discover a new species of beetle and get his name, be able to name the beetle and name it after himself, so that forever and ever in all of the entomology textbooks and everything, etymology textbooks, that his name will be on this bug, and there'll be this sort of little bit of immortality that no one can take away from him. He wants to make his mark. So he heads to this place that he thinks a new beetle species might be hiding, because he's made this really in-depth study of sand, and he's decided that there's a very special type of sand in this one place, and that he might find this sandy beetle species there. Something that he's kind of fascinated by sand, by the fact that it's all really the same size when you get right down to it. Each grains of sand all over the world are pretty uniform. There aren't really bigger and smaller grains of sand. Everything kind of grinds down to this one homogeneous size. And he's kind of fascinated by that. We're getting close here, aren't we? Anyway, so he goes to this place that's there are these massive windswept sand dunes near this kind of flooded tidal coastland, and he goes there to try and find this beetle. And there is a town in the vicinity, and he goes there to arrange for lodgings, right? But this town is kind of weird, because the whole town is constantly under threat of being buried by the windblown sands, right? These dunes that surround the town have been sort of encroaching on it. The wind coming off the ocean pushes sand kind of relentlessly at this town, and the houses closest to the coast are the most in danger of being buried by the dunes that are growing up around them, right? And in fact, the further that direction you go in this town, the more dramatic it is. Speaking of dramatic, look at this storm, huh? Anyway, these houses are down in little holes in dunes. Eventually, the houses are down in holes surrounded by sand dunes. And it's one of these houses that the elders of the town put him up in when he asked for lodgings, right? It's basically like some kind of weird early form of Airbnb, where there's this woman living down in this house that's in this hole in the sand, and the man has to climb this long ladder down to even get there. And then the woman, hosts him. She's very hospitable and very nice, and he stays the night in the house. He wakes up the next day to go out and carry on with his beetle search, and finds that the ladder's gone. The elders of the town have taken it away. And he's really upset because he feels trapped, tricked, which is essentially what has happened. And oh my God, look at this. And the woman is very apologetic, but she kind of can't do anything about it because she's a widow. Her husband and children died in this kind of sand avalanche. They're buried somewhere near the house, but in the dune that has almost subsumed it. In fact, half of the house is buried in sand dune because the woman can't shovel sand fast enough to keep her house unburied without her husband around. And so the town found her help by shanghaiing this guy and tricking him into, having to be in the bottom of the dune. And he tries all kinds of methods of escape, and he can't. And he and the woman have a very complicated relationship because, whoa. Well, this is kind of trippy. Oh, cool, right? They have this very complicated relationship because the woman is a very kind person, and she's very sorry to the man that he's been trapped here. And she tries to, she does more of the work than him, even though he's supposed to help her dig the sand. And when he complains, the town elders come to the edge of the pit and they talk to him, and they tell him, well, if you shovel enough sand, maybe we'll let you out eventually, right? So he Every day, he and the woman, they just spend all day shoveling sand, and exhausted and grimy. They always end the day just kind of falling into a heap in this soggy but sort of gritty, sandy house that's half buried in the dunes. And the elders, they bring this kind of stipend of rice and stuff from the government. It's kind of like welfare. The elders deliver this to the houses around the town, and so the man and the woman, their job is to kind of keep shoveling sand so the house doesn't get buried. And the reason is that any house that gets buried, it just makes it makes the sand rise faster around the houses nearby, so that it's harder for everyone if you aren't constantly digging the sand and constantly trying to like keep the house unburied. The whole neighborhood could kind of go under if you don't do your part. So but a lot of times the man he's a real grump. He doesn't want to be there. He feels trapped. He feels stuck. The woman does a lot of the digging for him, and she's really very kind to him. And he escapes a few times. And every time the townspeople catch him, and they bring him back to the pit, and every time the woman is very kind. She seems as sad for him as he is, right? And he's a real butthead the whole time, and she seems like a real saint by comparison. But then again, it's a pretty unfair situation, really, for both of them when you think of it. This storm is cool, huh? Eventually, though, anyway, they start living like husband and wife, which is kind of what the townsfolk wanted. And she gets pregnant, and they're expecting, and he's really kind of started to get used to this life. He's used to the daily routine of digging the sand, that's constantly blowing, kind of like this sandstorm in the game, right? Constantly blowing and trying to bury the house. And they're fighting this kind of losing battle, because no matter how fast they dig the sand out, of course, more of it's constantly just sort of cascading into the place. Oh, that's cool. That effect, that corona effect around the sun there, that's really neat. This sandstorm update's cool, right? Digging it. I have no idea what direction I'm going anymore, though. Oof, look at this thing. It does move. Let's see what it looks like to sleep in the sandstorm. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. Right on the edge of the storm there. Huh. Right? So, anyway, eventually, the woman is due, pregnancy wise, and the town's elders come to pick her up and take her to the nearest, hospital, so that she can give birth. And when they leave the ladder. They've always taken it away, but they leave the ladder this time. And they leave the man alone with the ladder in the dune, in the hole in the dunes. And the crazy thing is, he doesn't try to escape. He waits for them to bring the woman back with their baby, and he just kind of resigns himself to that fate, to the fate of raising this kid with this woman, and constantly digging the sand for the sake of the town. And I don't know about you, but that really does seem like a metaphor for life. The world seems to want everybody to get married, get mortgages, have kids, so that society can keep going, so that the wheels can keep turning, so that new consumers are constantly born, and industry has lots and lots of workers to keep it staffed, and society has lots and lots of taxpayers to pay into all the coffers. And society seems to make it pretty hard to get out of marriage, but really easy to get into it. And it was pretty easy for the man in the story to get into that hole in the dunes without realizing what he was being put into, and very hard for him to get out. And by the time years later he really would have been allowed to, he's so what would you call it, institutionalized almost, right? That he doesn't even want to. That he no longer has any big ambitions. He no longer is going to try to make a big name for himself and make his mark on the world. He no longer is going to try to be free. Instead, he's kind of accepted his prison, as we all do. And, interestingly, the woman the whole time seemed to understand that that's what would happen. And she was sad for him the whole time, even though they were both in that situation. So it's an interesting story. I mean, it's kind of about how you and I are always spending every day with all of our time sort of falling through the hourglass, like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives, right? We're always moving through some shifting sands of time, but we eventually we get buried. Eventually it overcomes us. We succumb to time, don't we? But we dig and we dig and we dig the whole time furiously against, I guess, the inevitable. Right? And that is that time will bury us. We will get old. Mortality, all that stuff. Sorry, that's a little heavy, right? I mean, I suppose when you watch programs, kind of let's play videos about long drive, probably it's mostly like goofy people doing goofy stuff and, sticking things to their cars and shouting a lot. And here I'm telling like really depressing existential plot lines, stories from mid-century literature. That story, Woman in the Dunes, was written in the 50s, if I remember right. Woo. Whoa. Sandstorm. Yeah. Pretty heavily obscuring everything. So yeah, I mean, the story's pretty meaningful. We're always fighting time. We're always fighting the inevitable. And then on another level, it's kind of a story about how society likes to just sort of put us in this little spot where we're working and working and working our life away, spending all our vitality to try and, feed the goals, the aims, the needs of the collective. This must be a steep hill. I mean, I'm trying to go forward, not backward. And there we go. Here we go. Must be a steep hill. Woo! It's cool though. We did it, folks. We found the sandstorm, and look at it. Isn't it glorious? Hello. Long drive. I like it. Impressive. Yes. Wondrous. Oh. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to find something in this storm. The road. How? We found the road. Oh my gosh. After all that aimless driving around, we found the road. What a random miracle that was. We were way off of it, too. Okay, come on. We getting out of this thing? Getting out of this sandstorm? Huh? There's that diner. Whoa, 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 no. Hey, Dacia, come on now. Help a guy out. Look at that. Ha ha, sucker. Can't catch me now, sandstorm. Watch out, bunny. Watch out, rock. Watch out, telephone pole. Oof. Okay, now I'm a little concerned because it looks like the sandstorm is following us. Wow. Awesome. Whew, all right. Well, thank you for joining me today. We found out how cool those sandstorms are. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So fun to have those in this game. Love it. Okay. Fun stuff, right? Till next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in.